People picking on me, just trying to give a study, just trying to help out people. Now make fun of me. I don't need my data. All right, we're good to go there. So here we go. We're going to do a study again today. I did a video a while back that was about $28 a week would get you about $80,000 in retirement. Look, the study wasn't perfect. The idea was just to get you motivated to actually get started, and it did that. So many of you called me and said, look, I just want to get started. I don't fit into the $28 a week category. I want to max out my Roth. I want to do something else. But it got you thinking, right? And that's the goal. I don't care if you agree or disagree with some of the stats in it. I actually disagree with some of the stats, but look, that's what that data was. So what I thought I'd do is I'd put together my own study and get more detailed. You guys actually wanted more details than what I thought you would, so I left a lot of the junk out. Well, get ready, because we're gonna get into great detail on this one, but we're gonna take a different approach with a different person. So here we go. What we're gonna do is we're gonna say the person is now 35 years old. That fits more into the people that seem to watch that video, or the demographics that at least YouTube gave me for people that watched it. I had a lot of questions on that, saying, hey, I'm 35, what do I do? Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make some assumptions along the way here to build this study. Now you can agree or disagree with the assumptions, but I'll tell you why I'm using each one as we plan them out. So the first thing I'm gonna do is say that you start the Roth IRA, and in the first year you start with $5,500. So it's very common, at least what I see with my clients, that they get really excited, and by the end of the first year, they typically have the $5,500. So this study, the results of the data, are going to assume that in year one, we started with $5,500. And we don't have to really say whether it's an IRA, Roth IRA, we'll just assume it's a Roth IRA. Okay, now we're gonna use the retirement age of 67 because that seems to be about the industry standard. 67, and actually if you go back and watch that other video that I made, that was actually from Social Security, the actual retirement age that they gave, and that's a pretty good place to get your data, I think. So we'll use 67. Of course, you'll adjust this for whatever you think your retirement age will be. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna say that you've got a life expectancy. How do we put it? We're gonna say 86 is your life expectancy, okay? Okay, so what that means is now you've got 19 years that we're trying to make up some money. So you're 35 years old now, you're trying to start saving for retirement, and you're hoping to have about 19 years of money. Okay, so hopefully we can have more, but we're gonna start by just planning for that. Here's what we're going to do. In the study, we're going to assume 7% growth on average, rather than the 10% the previous study used. If you are investing now and you're younger and you've only been around for maybe the last 7 to 10 years, well then you've never actually seen the markets going down. So we should note that what you see in the markets currently, it's 2018 right now, is not common. We're at a bit of a we're outpacing the average, but that won't stay forever. We'll go back and say 7% is our average. Okay, so this is kind of the starting point of where we're at for our study. Now, don't hate me for this. I'm making this video for my clients, and my clients have some other source of income. The majority of people have either Social Security expectations, 401ks that they'll be withdrawing money from, even if they're very small, some kind of pension, some other side source of income. So whether you agree or disagree that Social Security will be around, right now it's there. And remember, Social Security is not an entitlement. Social Security is not some, government help handout sort of thing. You pay into it, and the deal is they pay back. So whether you think it's going to be there in the future or not, it's there, right? It's yours at the moment. So we're gonna plan for that. But if you don't like that and you say, look, I really don't think Social Security is gonna be there, what we're gonna do is we're gonna factor in $25,000 in other income in retirement. $25,000 per year. Again, this could be just a small withdrawal from your 401k, 403b, 457. Maybe you're lucky, you have some kind of smaller pension. We're not going to let that number get out of control. We're just going to say that that is the other income. Now, here's the key point. Before you go ragging on me in the comment section, that's future money, not $25,000 now, $25,000 in inflation adjusted for when you hit 67. We'll get to that here in just a second. Okay, we're also going to assume that this is taxed at the 22% tax bracket, okay? So here's the deal. Here's how we come up with this. If we're looking for $50,000 in retirement, just out of our actual savings, then we have other income of $25,000. Let's just round it up and call it $80,000. Well, right now that's well within the window for the 22% tax bracket if you're married filing joint. So that's all I have to use. I can't guess what the tax brackets will be in the future. So we've got to at least start with something, and we can always adjust as we go. All right, are you with me so far? We're 35 years old. We're starting with $5,500. We expect to retire when we're 67. We expect to live to at least 86. So we want our money to last until 86, preferably further than that. We're going to assume that our investments, whatever we invest in, averages a 7% return each year. When we get to retirement, $25,000 in future dollars, adjusted for inflation, is going to be extra income from our 401ks or whatever we have. And we're going to assume that any income that we have is taxed at the 22% tax bracket. That's a starting point. We're also going to do 2% inflation. Now, is 2% a good number? Is 3% a good number? Is 5% a good number? Look, all we can go by is now and future expectations. This number is not set in stone. Right now, the Fed mandate is for 2%, roughly 2% inflation. That's all we have to go on. That's what we're currently experiencing if you take out the food that they, choose to take out of their study. But hey, that's a different video. You can agree or disagree with that. We're going to go with 2%. Now look, if inflation starts to creep up, a lot of people think it will, then we'll adjust this number. Let me show you how I'm going to use this number going forward. All right, so assuming all of this is what you're willing to accept or at least start to plan for, then what happens is each year, how are we going to do this here? Let's go your yearly investment is going to be, it's $4,697. One way or another, you need to find $46.97 at 35 years old to get into your Roth IRA or whatever you're investing for. That's the starting point. Now, here's the deal. As we do this each year, that's for year one, $46.97. As you go on year by year, you're going to increase this number by 2% to adjust for inflation, right? So there we go. So 2%. If we find that inflation is slightly higher, or you want to expect that inflation is going to remain higher or creep up higher, then let's bump this number up. This number means nothing to you as far as an immediate thing. This number can be adjusted. So if you said, Dustin, I completely disagree with you. I think inflation is 4% and it's going to remain there or even go higher, then take this number and add 4% to it each year and make that your contribution. So the next year, your contribution to your Roth IRA or whatever will go up 2%, or if you want to use 4%, and then so on and so on and so on, it'll go up from there. If you do not want to use that, and you said, I don't want to adjust for inflation, I don't want to guess, right? All I want to know is I want to have $50,000 in retirement. When I get there, I want to use $50,000 in today's terms for retirement. Then what you're going to do is put 5822 each year towards retirement. Now this can be some in your 401k, some in your Roth, whatever. Then you don't adjust for inflation. That's going to assume 2% in there for you, and you just put that same amount in each year. So let me clarify. If you want to adjust for inflation and have your own expectations, take this number and times it by whatever you think inflation will be each year as you go and increase your contribution. If you do not want to do that math or don't have a guy to do it for you, then go with 5822, okay? Okay, so what does all of this mean? Let me, can you see over here? Yeah, not bad. Okay, so the $50,000 a year in retirement, by the time you actually retire at age 67, the number is actually, adjusted for inflation, is actually 57, let's get it right, 478. So while you're thinking in terms of today's dollars, when you retire, it's actually $57.48 that you'll be able to take out in the first year of retirement, right? And get this, if we go all the way down to your 19th year in retirement, that same amount of money will be worth $82,093. So that's pretty crazy to think, huh? You're gonna assume 50,000, but if we're talking about future terms, it's actually $82,093. So that's what we're planning for here, okay? So I'm trying to get really geeky about this and go from there. Now, here's the way this number actually works out. If you start with 5,500 and you add either the $46.97 a year and then adjust for inflation each year, or just go with the $58.22, if you make 7% on average and you have some other income of 25,000 future dollars, then what this means is on Christmas of your 85th year, right, on literally right after Christmas, you will officially run out of money and you're free to die at that point. So that's where you'll be at that point. So obviously if you want to kind of plan for 90 or something else, then you'll adjust this. Or if you feel like your future income will be higher, we can adjust this as we go. The bottom line is, I wanted to get a study out there that I actually prepared, right? That we can all agree or disagree with. If I make a mistake, I can own up to it. I don't have to reference some other data. So again, your income in the future, we can agree or disagree. Inflation, the tax rate, these are all things that can be adjusted. But if we're going to create a plan for you, or we're going to at least start thinking about it, well, we have to come up with something. We have to plug a number in. 1 plus X doesn't really get us very far if you're trying to figure out what the sum is going to be. So this just allows us to put some numbers in. We can adjust in years where you think that the average is higher. If you want to invest differently, if you want to invest more conservatively, we can adjust for that as well. I hope I covered everything because I think most of you understood what the previous video was for, but some of you took it too seriously and wanted more data, and I love that. If you want more data, I'm willing to give it to you. I love doing this. I love doing all of this. So if you need help with retirement accounts, you need help with all these numbers, they scare you, but you get the end goal, you understand that's what you want, I can help you get there. Just go to jazzwealth.com. Let's talk about what we can do for you. And hey, thanks for watching. Well, I hope you liked that video, and if so, then there may be another one up there that you're interested in. If you're thinking of opening or transferring a retirement account from somewhere else, click our logo over here and that'll take you to our website to get started. Or you can then click Chat with Jazz, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. Thanks for watching, and I hope to talk to you soon.